Okay. So we're good. Yeah. Okay. And Dave enlightened me on the differences between Canadian Thanksgiving and American Thanksgiving, of which there aren't many, other than it's earlier. And he had lasagna, which is fantastic.
True now.
Oh, all right.
Okay. How about now?
Can we get Dave?
Because when I talk, yeah, no, it has to be coming through. It's coming through. I guarantee it's
Okay.
coming through at this point. If not, I am the worst video game streamer ever. I have completely failed, but I'm still gonna play FIFA regardless. So, if
Well, should we just dive into that?
yeah, okay, no, I'm good. So you get to hear my phone because I didn't mute it. You get to hear Dash telling me how much of an idiot I am. But yeah, sorry about that. So we got 4 viewers. There's audio now. So yeah, let's start from the top. Let's talk about what this Canadian Thanksgiving is.
That's right. So Dave started when we thought we had started about 5 minutes ago. Indicated that he's in his second day of Canadian Thanksgiving, stepping away from the family a bit to take care of his Turin Giants business responsibilities, and was asking about the differences between Canadian and American Thanksgiving. So why don't you enlighten us?
Yeah, so it's a lot like American Thanksgiving. I guess I'll explain just generally what it is because maybe you don't know what American Thanksgiving is either. But it goes back to, you call them pilgrims, we call them settlers. I think there's a difference there in just how we call things, but back, I don't know, 16, 17, 1800s when people were first coming over to our countries, they would celebrate the harvest, essentially. So in Canada, the end of the harvest is now, October. I mean, we got our first snowfall there yesterday, so I mean, the harvest is over. It's time to take the crops off. And yeah, it's just a celebration of that, and it's all the very traditional fall foods, like pumpkins, turkey, sweet potato, yeah, what is it? Like butternut squash, for instance. I mean, so many people have different traditions. But that's all it is. I know in America they like to watch a whole lot of football. American football.
American football.
Yeah. And yeah, what else did I say you guys do more of? More football. Oh, Black Friday.
Black Friday.
You guys lined up with Black Friday, yeah. So it's just like a super weekend.
That's right.
Yeah.
But what makes this year's American Thanksgiving so much better is that the World Cup will be going on. So the U.S. actually plays England the day after Thanksgiving on that Friday. I do not participate in Black Friday at all. So we got some good soccer matches to watch. I think there's 2, maybe even 3 games on Thanksgiving Day. So I don't care much about the American football teams that will be playing. So it'll be good to catch some World Cup matches too.
Yeah. So I just adjusted the game audio too. It should not be so screaming at you now. Oh, number 10's in here. Oh, and see, I looked at the chat and I passed it like Bonucci. Or no, like Vlahovic did yesterday.
So let's okay, that's a great comment. So that's something I want to touch on. That was, Vlahovic has had some amazing games for us, some decent games. I've never seen him have just a terrible game. Yesterday I think was one of those for him, and I'm just curious what kind of your thoughts are stemming from seeing that performance yesterday.
It was just the whole team. So is this one of those, do you blame a single guy, or was the whole mood of everything just completely off? I don't know.
It was just something from him that stood out. yes, the whole team didn't perform well at all, but I can't remember, and I'm sure this is a bit of an exaggeration, but I can't remember one of his hold-up plays that actually worked to any successful outcome.
No, Milan
Every time
completely contained.
every time the ball came to him with his back to goal, I think he pissed it away every time or tried to do too much with it and turn and just lose the ball. Like not one of his layoff passes did anything to any effect. Uh,
And
he
then yeah,
just
he
he
had
just
that
had
really bad one, obviously. That
well the one that led to the second goal. That was I there was so I played soccer in high school, and one of the lines that just sticks in my mind from the high school coach would always state there's no square balls in the midfield.
yeah.
That you just don't pass these horizontal balls straight across the midfield unless you're in complete control of what's going on. And that was a perfect example where he's playing it straight across the field, not being aware that somebody at speed is coming at it. And before you know it, he's blown past four players, and Sandro and Bremer were awful on
Oh,
trying to contain
yeah.
him. And I mean, with a little bit of luck, Tech's touch on that ball pushes it wide. I mean, I think he got a little unlucky there. He did well to touch it, but I mean, Diaz deserved
Oh, it
that
was.
goal through and
Well, even
through.
Allegri
That
patted
was
him on the back when he came off there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was just a bit shocking from Vlahovic, but it doesn't change my opinion on him as a player. I still think he's tremendous and somebody we should be building our team around. But that one really stuck out. You don't get too many of those from him.
And this is where I really start questioning things after. And it's not so much the fact we lost, it's how we lost, right? And I know that's cliche in a sense, but when we have these young players like Vlahovic who are touted to be one of the greatest of the generation, and you're seeing very little growth under Allegri. And that's what I'm really concerned about, is the lack of growth.
Well, the other player that really stuck out to me yesterday in terms of just a really poor performance is another guy who has declined with Allegri, and that's Locatelli.
Who just scored in FIFA there with a header. But yes.
Fantastic.
And Vlahovic, the two guys we're talking about, so let's keep talking.
I can't see it, so you're going to have to keep me updated along the way here.
Oh, yeah, you can open up the YouTube stream.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so for those of you hearing my idiotic comment, I'm only looking at like our hosting software.
Oh, are you?
So maybe
Okay.
I'll navigate
turn that down and just
to
look
that.
at YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, no, I will.
This is Kevin's first time
but
doing... We're new at streaming in general, so I mean, we're working on it.
So bear with me. Cool. No, that'll actually be more entertaining.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's just Locatelli, man. A player that I think is clearly a fan favorite. I mean, you see on all of like Curva Sud posts and a lot of stuff. He's uno di noi. He's one of us, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing is he's sort of a homegrown. I know he's not homegrown, but you know what I mean, like a local supporter kid.
Yeah, and everybody wants him to be successful, and he just hasn't. He's had a couple really nice games. The one against Torino last year, and that game's actually coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
But he's just been average, or even below average at times. And yesterday, it's just the body language from him. Just nothing was right. I don't know if he contributed anything positive. There were two distinct build-up plays in the first half, specifically, where the team had good, like, positive possession, right? There were forward runs. They were trying to be proactive. And that was exciting. And some of the play didn't work. And there was one time where I know that we had done a lot of good build-up play. There wasn't anything there. So we brought it back around. Locatelli had a break and just blasted this pass to no one.
Oh
It
yeah,
that one, I don't know he must have thought somebody was making a run,
maybe.
or maybe he just totally mishit it, and it was just just an awful, awful ball. But there were two times, I can't remember now the second time that he did it, but there were two distinct times where the final ball in his vision was just totally off.
But again, it wasn't just him yesterday. Like,
no, it wasn't. But for me, like those two things with those two players who I feel like these aren't going to be like players in transition in our squad, hopefully over the next like 3 to 5 years, and they become more like staple players and like building points around the organization. And you look at players like, I don't know, Di Maria, like Quadrado, probably Rabiot, Alexandro. Like these are players that will be out over the coming seasons or two.
Yeah, there's a lot of people leaving this summer.
And Locatelli and Vlahovic are ones that you don't expect, and they just stood out yesterday, and it was just disappointing. But to your point, no one was good yesterday.
Yeah, and if you have a particularly bad day, but your whole team does, you're going to look horrible. So I know I'm not making excuses, but I just find it hard to really point one person out on a day like yesterday. And it's a snapshot, like it's fresh. When I try to look at the bigger picture with it, right? Which she did with Locatelli over the season, so that's fair. But just to pick him out because of yesterday is a little harsh, perhaps, just because you can trash every single player. The one guy that we should really be trashing is Bonucci. Like, if I was to choose one guy to hate on from yesterday's game, that's Bonucci.
Elaborate on that a bit.
So back in business.
Just
the ball is moving again.
how he let it was Liao with the breakaway there.
He
just stood there.
He just stood there. Like that was abysmal. Yeah.
And
I don't know what he was trying to do.
And I know we were talking about this just in the WhatsApp a couple weeks ago after the Curva tore him apart. But he does wear the armband. And I do want to see more leadership. Just, I don't care if it's from him. But if you're going to wear it, I better see it. I don't know, it seems almost like he's all talk and very little action. Because if you are the captain, like if that was Chiellini, he would have went right through that guy, taken the card, and smiled at him. Bonucci stepped away. And I think that's inexcusable. Like that's beyond just playing bad. That's not standing up for your team, for your goalie, for the captaincy that you apparently represent. So that's almost like treason, right? Like there's chargeable offenses, then there's treason. Oh, that went in. He snuck one past.
So you're telling me that picking on Vlahovic and Locatelli's a bit harsh, which I totally agree with. I think saying that's treason is also a bit harsh.
I'm not saying I'm saying like there's like theft, there's like Grand Theft Auto, like when you're talking about chargeable offenses, right? Like,
yeah.
So for instance, if you're a public figure and you do something wrong, you're gonna get hung out to dry. But if you're average schmo, you're not necessarily. You're not under the limelight. And that's my whole thing with leadership. When you accept to be a leader, especially of a prestigious team like Juventus, there's a lot that you have to represent, and you are put on a pedestal, and you are expected to stand high above that pedestal. And you will be treated a lot harsher than everyone else because you have accepted that leadership. And that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm harsher on Bonucci, because he goes out and he wants to be the captain. We had that thing there last year with Allegri. or was it last year, 2 years ago, where he basically said Bonucci's not getting it?
Yeah, he was going to basically restart like his tenure with the club over again since he had gone to Milan for that season.
Yeah. So you can tell, like if you read between the lines, Bonucci wants to be the leader. And I have a problem. So I look at that kind of stuff in real life. Who are the worst leaders in your workplace? The ones that are constantly looking out for themselves just to be the one in the limelight, the one to get ahead, the one so they can say, look at my position, look how great of a leader I am. When in reality, everyone hates them in their hall.
It's the hero complex that they're going to come in and save the day and be the person, but they're not gaining their respect and actually demonstrating the leadership qualities that inspire people around them. And like I can only imagine, to your point, at halftime, right? Because by and large, like that first half was generally positive.
Yeah, it wasn't
like there were some things that fell off. Most of Milan's chances, like I know they hit the woodwork, but I never really felt like they were going to score. At least nothing at that point had seemed overly threatening. And they give one up going into half. That's where the leadership needs to come in. Like, look, guys, like this was a positive start to this game. Like the last two games have like demonstrated that we can turn this around. He scored 5 goals from open play in those last 2 matches. Positive playing, and it's just we just have to keep doing what we were doing to start this match, and just be more threatening. And I don't know, it clearly didn't inspire the team. They didn't come out the same way they did, and you're right. I mean, his individual performance was not that of a leader either.
20 minutes to go in this one.
And that's the thing. You're going to have your off days, like I said. So as a leader, you're still allowed to have a bad game. But he stepped away from Liao and gave him a... He let Tech out to dry. A leader doesn't let his guys out to dry. You take that foul. Even if it's a red card, at least you're making that statement that I will not back down for my team.
It wasn't even... I don't even want to look at the replay from that because it wasn't even an attempt. His 2 feet were together and he was flat-footed.
It looks a lot worse in the
replay. It was
replay.
Just bizarre.
When it first happened, I was like, oh, okay, he was maybe too far away and he didn't want to like slide into it. No, like he was right there. He was head to head with him. And he would have. He most likely would have drawn a foul. Very easily a yellow card situation. But again, look at
like there were people I think still behind him where that wouldn't have been a red card offense. I mean, it would have been a tactical foul. He would have taken the yellow card, and
red might have been a little harsh. But if he came in like really heavy into it and was really unsafe, like there's always that possibility in that situation. Again, he would have gone card regardless.
Yep.
But I'm just gonna, and I know it's not exactly the same situation, but Chiellini against England in the Euro finals. And how he went out of his way to make such a blatant foul. England hates him for it. But he wasn't gonna let Donnarumma go head to head with who was it? Saka? I can't remember now.
Yeah. The young kid from Arsenal. Saka, right?
I think it was Saka. I mean, somebody could.
Yeah.
But I mean, that moment, or I don't know if it's on camera right now. The Chiellini one here, the death stare. That's a leader.
Bukayo Saka. That's right. Yep.
So okay, yeah, it'd be pretty small for you guys, but you've probably seen it on the streams. I mean, you can get it on the store as well. Speaking of which, the store, the hoodies are out. How long's the 10% off for? Do you remember?
I think through, let me pull up the WhatsApp. I think it's through this month. I think it's through all of October.
And
I do have that. I have that T-shirt, Chiellini ripping down Saka.
Nice.
It's a great image.
I just love how he stares over my shoulder in the stream.
I am sorry. So pre-orders get 10% off until Sunday. So
today.
today's your
Oh
last
man,
today's your last
gotta
chance
get
to
mine.
get the 10% off.
The question is, what
Um,
color?
yeah. So if you guys haven't seen it, and hopefully you have, you could check it out. I think just at turngiants.com or on looking at the Instagram page. Farhad's put together an awesome hoodie with Del Piero, and if everybody remembers kind of the moment when him, along with some of our most beloved players, right, and Trezeguet, Camoranesi, Nedved, Buffon, all went down into Serie B, and Del Piero had the quote like "Un vero cavaliere non lascia mai una signora," like a gentleman never leaves his lady,
Yeah.
and went down with her. Which is
Beautiful.
actually awesome because that was personally one of my first Juve moments, because part of my tie to the city of Torino is in 2007 I studied here for a couple of months in university, and that was right when Juve went into Serie B, and I got to watch a number of matches in the Stadio Comunale that season. And of course, they'll be playing against Torino there this upcoming Saturday. But to see those players play in that league, like just look at the heart that some of those players had. I mean, obviously Del Piero had it, but those other guys that came down too, they didn't have to do that, and they did. And I look at the players that we have on this team now, like where just which of these players would have that like integrity with the club.
Okay, here.
And this has been talked about a lot, I think, on this podcast, and like where does like player loyalty lie with clubs, right? And like the game is very different now.
So there's I got the it's just captured our WhatsApp message here. So here's the photos right now. This is what we're looking
You
at.
can show it, yeah. Oh, there you go. Nice. I don't know. I'm kind of digging the pink one, to be honest.
I'm very much like a black and gray kind of guy, but I might have to. Oh, it's got that across the back too. I didn't even see that one. And he did do the turn giants in the small to back. Awesome, because I like because of the point, kind of like points up your nape, if you will. So that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might get the pink one though, because I have too many dark colors on screen.
White ones get dirty.
Oh, I can't. I do not have white clothes. I have like a white. Oh no, that's you. So I'll stop showing the rest of our stuff. But yeah. So, anyways, in the whole FIFA side of things, we just started it there last week. Season 1 just got the team together. Wasted a lot of time just in menus. Now we're in the preseason tournament. Eventually, I'd like to go week to week. Catch up.
Okay.
So really, we can come down. A lot of it will just be talking about like what we are, just whatever game's happening, and then we're only really playing one game, so we can focus on doing more of the transfer stuff and all the more background ish kind of fun theoretical formations. Get more into the trade, just be able to stick into it. Because right now, I don't want to spend so much time in the menus and not actually play a game. Once we catch up, then you can do a bit of the menu stuff, a bit of the game, kind of spread it out a bit more, and of course, just have the conversation.
So you played. This is the second match, you said, right?
Yeah. So that first one was Dortmund. Now we're here against Leicester City. Just preseason. So let's get into the team management a little bit. See. We have a bench because
when you play, how long are the
5-minute halves?
I'm just curious. 5-minute halves. Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm getting brought up. The viewers might be more up to date than I am.
Who knows though? Because it's been a few days.
This is cool.
Okay. Chiesa. Of course, because he's not injured here. So I feel like I opened up the wrong save. No, I'm going to back out because I thought I did all this and we made a bunch of trades. And I feel real dumb for it now. 27th September at 7:34. Next match, Empoli. That makes way more sense. Yeah, I'm not going to save this. This is... What's wrong with me? See, it has been so long, I can't remember what I played. Okay, it should be...
And there's your favorite guy.
Oh, who was it? I missed it.
Leo, when he was running across the screen.
Oh, was it? I didn't even
Yeah.
No, it didn't save any of that stuff. Well, that's a real pain in the ass. Because we had traded Sandro. We gotta do that all over again. That sucks.
You had a couple ones there. It said like one was September something and the other was October 3rd.
Yeah, that's another thing that I'm playing.
Okay.
I mean, instead of fucking around... Sorry, I'm swearing. I shouldn't do that. Okay. I did screw this up. So what I'll do is, so we don't have to go through all that background menu crap again, I'll restart it and do the same trades. I'll get it to where we were. This, though, this is something I've been playing offline and online. This was not part of the series. This was just like, hey, if I'm going to play, I'll go online and stream. So we started a Turin Giants team in Serie B. Here, we'll see. We're currently in first. Are we? No, we're in third. That's right. I was in first. Didn't quite keep it up so well. But that's okay.
So is it just a collection of, like, how does the team get formed?
It's just
a
random.
Collection of random players?
So I choose where I want to start. I chose a young, up-and-coming team, 2 stars. And 2 stars is pretty much the lowest you'll be in Serie B. We have Bayarmi here. He's 33. He's our one veteran guy. But everyone else, so if I go into Squad Hub, so this is our Turin Giants. This is our second fantasy, like our super fantasy. But if I go into, yeah, here, their age. Go like this. So you can see a lot of our guys are not super old. We've got a couple of these older guys too, but it's pretty well spread out. So the whole idea is you take these young guys, like he's 23. Okay, let's see. He's really good here. So he's 21 and he's already a 63, for instance. So those are the kind of guys you try to keep around. 18 and he's a 60. So you try to develop these guys from a very young age, essentially. And this guy's 17 and he's a 73. Like
unless you take the Juventus approach, and so if you're starting in Serie B, do we loan these guys to Serie C for 3 years and then sell them for 13 million euros?
Well, that's what I'm going to do a lot. Like this guy here, he is on. So what I was doing offline, if I go to my transfers and go to Transfer Hub, I had so many more. Did it not save that either? Jesus, this game. I had a whole bunch shortlisted. Okay, regardless, let's just play a game. We'll talk more. I'll sort this out. I got to do a better job at saving games, I think, under like very separate names, so I don't get confused. But yeah, never mind this. We're just having fun. Let's get back into the real game. Who else do we really want to, I don't know, air our grievances with?
I mean, so we were chatting a bit in WhatsApp yesterday after the match, and
yeah, I couldn't keep up with that one, to be honest.
But I mean, it was the driving sentiment is like, clearly nobody wants to see Allegri here anymore.
Yeah,
that's obvious. But the concern is that nothing's really going to change until he's gone. and which is probably a true statement. And like, can he get more out of this team? Like, he should be able to. Like, this is still a pretty decent squad.
It
And this
is.
team should be performing better than at the level it's at. And like, I don't even care if Chiesa or Pogba are a part of the team. I mean, obviously I do, right? Like, I want to see them play. But if you remove them from the equation and not even consider them, this team should be good enough to be doing much better than how they are. And clearly they're not. So can he get more out of them? I sure hope so. But ultimately, the playing style, the mentality, the way that we approach matches, like having that, like, we are Juventus and we should be able to beat anybody on our night, like, that just seems to be gone. And
it's not even talked about anymore.
No, and so the thought that nothing's going to matter until he's gone. But even so, like, I think that's like general consensus. Like, in all of the different Juve things that I follow and that I read and that I'm immersed in, no one's really defending him like outright.
No.
The only way people are defending him is because it does go a level deeper, and that we've proven over the last 3 years that it's not just the coach. And there's more systemic things across the organization, whether it's other elements of the coaching staff, whether it's the transfer strategy, whether it's the way, like, we've made decisions that have negatively impacted the stadium environment, right? There's just like so many different things out there that are impacting this, and so the people that have been kind of defending Allegri slightly have just been, look, he can leave, but that still doesn't change anything.
That is
with how the whole organization, that the way that the whole organization is being managed and run right now. And if we do get the hashtag Allegri out people, which have been including myself recently, if those wishes are met, bringing somebody in, whether you get someone incredible like a Zidane or you do something that's a little bit more conservative in the near term where you're not going to spend a lot of money and you go with like a Paulo Montero, we still have the same board, we still have the same management staff, and we still aren't filling the stadiums, and we're still not having that passion behind it. We still have the same team and we still have the same project, and
yeah. So,
it's just tough. It's tough.
It is. The one thing to remember that I always like to keep on echoing, really, is that it is a 3-year project. We're in year 2, especially with how many people that are leaving in the summer. Rabiot, Sandro, probably not to Milan now, but like you don't know. There's a whole list of people whose contracts are
Quadrado.
Yeah, Quadrado's
sure.
The other one.
Di Maria, probably just because of the expense that he carries. I doubt we'll see him for a second year.
He said he's only doing the 1 year. Like, that's just a personal thing for him. He's going back to Argentina. If he stays the second year, I mean, great. He's really proven to be one of our more bright players.
Well, he needs to contribute more than once every 5 matches. I mean, when he's on his night, he's brilliant, but it's not worth the 6 or 7 million net for a good performance every 5 games.
No, it's not from a business perspective, but we're paying Rabiot 7+2.
No, I'm not arguing
for that
with
same
that,
price, you know, when you put it in that perspective. But yeah,
but the crazy thing is, Rabiot's been the only one playing well recently, consistently, which is odd. But
it's not odd. It's just we're starting to finally notice him, I think, is what it is. We didn't want to like him. He's not a very likable person, I suppose. But there's no reason, I guess, to hate him.
Well, after this summer, with the shit that went down with his mom.
That's his mom, though. And that's the thing. We have to remember it's his mom.
But he's still a part of that, right?
Yeah,
but he, at the end of the day, he's still the player, and I don't know.
It's just,
we don't have to go down that.
No, and we've had that discussion too with Dybala. Was it really Dybala, or was it his used car salesman agent?
Yeah.
And we actually pulled a picture of him on one of the lives too. He looks like a used car salesman.
He does. He does. But right, so you were talking. I interrupted. So you were talking. It was like you just keep anchoring yourselves in that we're into year 2 of a 3-year project. So I'm just
Well, if we get rid of Allegri now, that resets. We're talking about another 3. And to be honest, I've seen teams do 3-year rebuild projects. You don't rebuild a team in 3 years. It takes 5 years. So, personally, I think we did it wrong. And you usually see teams that are coming off a big run of a successful team, and their ego says, yeah, we can rebuild this team. We already have a lot of the pieces. We'll rebuild in 2 or 3 years. No, you're not rebuilding. You're patching pieces. So we have to ask ourselves as fans, are we ready to legit go into a banter era and rebuild? Keep your Chiesas, your Locatellis, what have you. But other than that, you clear house. Everyone else has to go. Management, everyone has to go. You rebuild from nothing.
Would Elkin do it?
Oh, a stellar piece of defending.
I don't know. I think his sweater's wrapped too tightly around his neck.
And denied by the post.
and that's the interesting part of that, because we to me it's there's contradicting things in play here. So I think us as fans, right, we gravitate towards the entertainment and the matches, right? Sports provides entertainment, it provides community, it allows us to do things like this and connect with people. But we do recognize that beyond that, it's a business, right? And how many times do we hear that on broadcasts and things that we read? It is a business, right? But the thing is interesting is Agnelli's trying to run this like a business and seem more interested in getting the third kit jersey sales and getting the marketing value out of that than actually the product on the field and what's being delivered. So if we accept that, yes, football is a business, Juventus is, I think, the only team in Serie A that's a publicly listed organization in the Italian stock market. It's a business. But if you look at actually the results in comparison to what the expectations should be for this team, what has been put out would not be accepted in any other business context. These guys that are making these decisions would be gone. In any other kind of Fortune 500, Global 2000 profile organization, if they were making these kinds of mistakes and having this flawed of a strategy, heads would roll because it wouldn't be acceptable.
So that's an interesting analogy.
We're trying to treat this like a business, but the decisions we're making have been so poor, and there seems to be no repercussion to the people making the decisions.
So I attribute that analogy, you can look at, I'm just going to pick General Motors, for instance. I guess technically it's Juve is owned by a car company too, so maybe not too far off here.
True.
But you look at General Motors, you can look at any of the North American brands. That multiple times they've had billion-dollar buyouts. Here in Canada, we've had Bombardier, who makes trains and planes. They've had billion-dollar buyouts as well. And the thing is, we as consumers tend to not care how bad this company's doing, how screwed over the employees are, how much money is wasted in whether it's union fees or marketing to, they spend the money on marketing instead of making a proper vehicle, for instance, right? It's the same thing. The end product, it's marketed brilliantly, but the product is crap. But we, as consumers, are dumb enough to keep on consuming. It's us at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. It's there's an emotional attachment to it. There definitely is, and they've built up that brand, but it's just.
And that's what they're doing. That's part of that marketing is they create a brand royalty. And I love to rag on Apple products, right? But that's essentially that's what Apple did. They're not selling you a product. They're selling you a lifestyle.
Counter-attacking very much an
Like,
option.
how many people, I don't know, you can answer for yourselves,
Can they keep it
buy
going?
the phones or the laptops,
Well, players back in
knows what it's
position
actually
now.
capable, what it's made, how it's made, all that stuff, or is it just sort of like
In position.
you're an Apple person? Because I know Apple people are Apple people.
And still a chance.
Like, they buy.
Yeah, I mean,
into it,
I
right?
certainly have my share of. I mean, here I am with the iPhone, iWatch, and I have my AirPods right
Yes,
now.
you buy into the whole
but
lifestyle.
like I don't think I'm like I'm an Apple person. I have bought into the ecosystem and the ease of use in which everything works very cleanly together, and there is that kind of appeal. But I get your point. But have I been
So
sucked
now
into
the
it?
corner.
Sure. And am I going to leave it? No, because it's too
So
hard.
deciding to make a
It's
personnel
too hard to
change at
break
this
out of all
juncture.
of it. Like all of my subscriptions
Time
are
taken short.
like through an Apple
Well, let's
ID,
see him up the
and
cross.
my
So-
different products
Well, that's
So it's
work and
not the-
sync together. I'm stuck.
Is that not the same with us with Juve then? Like, how many hundreds of dollars of jerseys do I have behind me, and the posters, and I mean the sweater I'm wearing? How much money? I can't just change my team now. All my Juventus stuff is
And
useless.
smacked against the crossbar.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
No,
I
I know.
actually would,
Yeah.
but like just to make an argument here, it's the same idea. You buy into an ideal, essentially. And
Yeah.
when you're that
It's
big
a good
like
it's a good
Juventus,
point.
they can get away with it because their user base is so large and clearly passionate. Because here we are, like making
an
YouTube
important
videos and stuff
intervention.
over it, right? Like you can't stop that momentum.
Cicciretti.
But I think we're starting to see that maybe
Lovely incisive
you can't
pass.
just hold on
And
to
he
that
can catch it.
indefinitely.
No, it does break.
And you
eventually.
look at the financial losses. Look at the stadium environment. Like there's things that are
And into the last
deteriorating as a
15 minutes
result
of action.
of these decisions and the poor strategy that's been in place. And I think the point I was trying to make and didn't quite get there, just trying, because you started talking about that this is a 3-year project. We're 2 years in, and we want to see this out, and that's the structure we have in place. So if we look at it through the lens of this is a business, these are decisions that have to be made, there's a strategy that's in place, then why the hell was Pirlo appointed in the first place? Because you go back to what they were trying to do with Sarri, and look, I respected that idea. I don't know if he was necessarily the right guy, but I
By the keeper.
respected that plan. And clearly they had put so much money into Ronaldo, and Ronaldo didn't want to play with Sarri, and there were issues there.
And there's the
And then,
delivery.
like a week before Pirlo was appointed, you have, was it a week or 2 weeks before that he was hired to run the U23s?
It was like 10 days.
And you have 10, yeah, and you have Nedved coming out saying that Sarri's job is completely safe, and then he's gone. And within 24 hours, Pirlo's appointed. There was no strategy there whatsoever. Nothing.
No,
It
but
was-
we were
it
all
was-
excited because
they
it was
were-
Pirlo.
I
was a
was. I
marketing
mean,
decision.
I was excited for him, but it was. There was no plan
No,
behind that whatsoever. And like you left Allegri for certain reasons. You went with Sarri for a certain reason. It didn't work quite as well as you wanted to in that first year, and for whatever reason, if they decided, hey, Colpa Mia, I'm going to shift, Pirlo wasn't a part of a project. It was a stopgap and a poor decision, and there was no thought and strategy put into it. And I feel going back to Allegri was just comfort, and we need to get back to winning, and clearly that hasn't worked out either. So like the strategic thinking that has been a part of putting projects together has just been so woeful.
it's bad, and eventually, I mean, the system itself is bending, and it will eventually break. What you kind of don't want to see is this kind of relieves pressure. You pick up momentum and say, "Oh yeah, we're okay," and then you start bending again, but you never break. You don't want to get stuck in that. Like, you either want to be firm and good to go, or you need to watch the world burn, essentially. Like, burn it down, start over. And we are bending so much right now with how we're doing things. and that's the question, right? Like, are we ready to go into the banter era? Are we ready to bend so much that we break, that we have to rebuild, that we are looking at 5 to 7 years before we're competitive again? But when we get there, like Milan, look at Milan's model, essentially.
Yeah.
And on paper, they're still not, like, they're a good team, but they're not an amazing team. Yeah, you have guys like Leao. I mean, Tonali plays really well for them. You got some like stalwarts like Calabria.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean, the three
team.
guys from that team that I would like on our team. Well, put Magic Mike to the side there, just as a keeper.
Yeah.
But the outfield players that I'd like to see would be Leao, would be Teo, and probably Tonali to a degree.
Yeah.
But those would be the three. But any other Tamori, I would take over Bonucci at this point. But I mean, but the rest of the players, like, take Vlahovic over Giroud, right?
Well,
I mean,
Giroud's what, 34?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 12 years.
I'm just, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, the players that are out there, like, our team in its current state, even without Chiesa and Pogba, should be more competitive. Yeah. And it should have been a better match than it was.
Absolutely. Should have been, and it almost was. But was the 46th minute, whenever it was, everything unraveled. But that is the big thing. Our team isn't bad on paper, maybe physically, technically, whatever. It's all mentally. They go down in the 46th minute, and all of a sudden, they lose every will to fight.
And according to all of our ex-players, it's a training issue too. And that we don't have the stamina and endurance and fitness levels to maintain that high levels of intensity.
And I don't get how, at that level, you don't have a program in place. Like, the sports science world is so tuned into this kind of thing.
Yeah, there's so much money that goes into that. And a club like ours and the prestige, how could they be missing it so badly?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
It's wild.
So you had a nice win there. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
What was the final? 5-1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm way... Yeah, I played all these games already. I think I'm here. Whatever, I'll just play. Do we want to keep on going? We've been going 52 minutes. You got more to talk
I guess
about?
You're just at the...
Do you want to keep on going? Like, it's up to you. Keep on going.
I think you just wrapped up a match. It's probably a good closing point there.
You don't want to see Buffon play for Parma? When I played him the first time, I kind of embarrassed him, so I felt bad. But no, we can wrap it up there. This was honestly just something. It didn't end up being as lighthearted, I suppose, as just playing some video games, chilling out. Of course, my saves weren't where they're supposed to be, so I'll have to find some more time in this congested schedule to do something. But yeah, we just wanted to, I guess, have a more informal, just kind of banter session in a sense. Get Kevin on, of course. Nice middle of the day.
Thanks for having me. This is time number 2, and it's probably my fault this wasn't as lighthearted, just
no,
because I'm not on here as often as you are, so it's fun to talk about what's going on with the team. But no, it's a pleasure.
No, it's good. And it's all about those different opinions, right? Like, obviously, we have slight disagreements here and there, and that's fine. Maybe you thought I went a little hard on Bonucci. I'm not sure, but that's all part of it. And that's what I'm trying to foster here.
Yeah,
with everyone.
It's fun.
We're going to do another call-in show as well. We should probably... I'll talk to Dash. Maybe we'll just do it tomorrow. Have that call-in show so people can just come in. I mean, it's pre-match for Maccabi. As we found out last week, there's not too much to talk about with Maccabi. So we can kind of continue this conversation. We'll still talk about the Maccabi. Obviously, we have the last games to go off, but we'll do that. Tomorrow we'll do a call-in show. So if you want, definitely on the Discord. You can DM me, Twitter, Instagram. It's all in the description. Every way to get me. Just give me a shout out. We'll get you on. We did it there a few weeks ago. We had a couple guys on. It was fun. Sam, I hope you're back. We can show your streaking videos again. But yeah.
Hey, can you do me a favor when you guys on that next call and you have people participating, get their sense of whether they'd like to do like home game, like live stream stuff. So the next home game is the 21st, so Friday against Empoli. Now I imagine most of kind of US, Canada, East Coast people are still working on a Friday, but like I'll be there at the game, and if like outside the stadium, if you want to do some kind of live stream and I can join uh, from my phone, if there's any way to do interactions there, or just kind of share what's going on. If that's something people want to join, like if there's a way to set that up, we should try.
There's definitely a way to set that up through your phone. Assuming you have the data, the connection, and all that. But
Yeah, absolutely.
what I would say is just do it and see who shows up.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, if it flops, it flops. Then we know. If not, and I mean, it's cool whenever you get those videos. And I swear to you guys, Kevin on the home games, an hour before the match, he's in the stadium, and all I'm doing is posting shorts up onto YouTube for that hour before the game, because they're coming in. Man, you're pitch side. You're right there.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So if you
the warm ups have been more fun than the games.
Yeah, sometimes watching Dusan do his free kick practice every week, man. You got Dusan free kicks. So if you haven't checked out those shorts, definitely do it. As well as those interviews you do, like outside the stadium, eating some sausage there. Those guys from Toronto didn't even know what they were eating a few weeks ago. They're a bit of goofballs, I guess. It's like, what is this?
I know.
They're probably a little liquored too, I imagine.
Just shut up and eat it. It's good.
Yeah, put it in your mouth, bud. Stop talking. But yeah, it's just a different insight, a different angle. It's awesome, especially you're in America, Canada, wherever, India. A lot of you guys are out in India. You can't get to the games. You don't actually know what the atmosphere is like. And we rag on the stadiums not being full, but there's still an atmosphere there. It'd be awesome if it was, but you still get to see those fans from Kevin's perspective, like face to face. I mean, nobody else can get that to you. So, I mean, why not? Check Kevin's stuff out. Once this goes on to the replay, which is 12 hours from now, typically, I'll link up Kevin's stuff into it. I have to wait till it does that. YouTube, the funny beast of YouTube, as I always say. Mysterious beast. But yeah, I mean, we'll get more Kevin whenever I have these days where we can kind of hook up. We'll get more Kevin on for you. Get his. I mean, right now it's a fresh perspective. Maybe a little more used by the time we get you on a few more times, of course.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you have any parting words for anyone, or?
Thanks again for the time. Enjoy the rest of your Canadian Thanksgiving weekend with family.
Yeah,
and for Farhad, we'll just do another shout out. If you go to turngiants.com, you can place a pre-order for the awesome new hoodie he has for 10% off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting one. I'm going to order that today. And I mean, normal nonsense, guys. Get on the Twitter, the Discord, especially the Discord, because what I'm doing now, if you like winning stuff, or if you just like chatting, because there's chat rooms we can stream on the side. It doesn't have to be on YouTube. But we got the prediction thing going, and yesterday I had this brilliant idea. Man, we do predictions all the time, but then what? Bragging rights? No. So, hit my microphone, my bad. So sticker packs. We got sticker packs. Farhad's got tons of stickers. He wants to give those out. As things get rolling, the prizes will get better. As the channel gets bigger, I mean, we can offer more back to you. So get on the Discord, continue that conversation, and yeah, get winning some stuff. We've already had a few winners of shirts and stickers and all. Just be a winner. We're all winners, right? Maybe not Juventus, but we can be winners. But yeah, other than that, like, subscribe. Thanks for, just playing some FIFA and bitching. So yeah, thanks for joining in, guys. And thanks again, Kevin.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Take care. Bye.
Fina Alafina.